You know what I noticed? Most people think courage is loud, that it shows up as defiance. But the real courage in Grenada right now is quiet. It's the person who sits at a family dinner where everyone's talking one way and they ask a question nobody wants asked. It's the woman in the workplace who says, actually, I disagree, when the whole room has already decided. It's the young person who reads something, thinks for themselves, and moves forward with their own conclusion. That's courage. And here's what I know: most people think they're alone in feeling it. You sit in your house, your workplace, your community, and you notice something doesn't add up. You have a different thought, and you look around and think, everyone else believes this. I must be wrong. But you're not wrong. You're just not hearing the other quiet voices yet. The reason you don't hear them is because the loudest voices get rewarded. The person who shouts longest, shames hardest, attacks fastest gets the attention. So everyone else learns the same lesson: stay quiet or pay the price. And it works for a while. But here's what happens over time: you become smaller. Your thinking becomes smaller. Your options become smaller. And you tell yourself if it's just how things are. But it's not how things are. It's how things have become when quiet people stay quiet. Think about what that costs us. Last year, $24 million dollars in healthcare funding went unspent while people waited for medicine and care. Jobs don't get created because cronyism beats competence. Systems work beautifully for the few who know the right people while everyone else struggles. That's what happens when people stop thinking independently and start just going along. Those problems don't get solved by silence. They only get solved when enough people are brave enough to say, this isn't working. I'm thinking for myself and I'm demanding better. No, I'm not saying step out and burn everything down. I'm saying something smaller and actually more powerful. Think for yourself. Judge ideas by whether they make sense, not by who said them. Support what works and question what doesn't. Be willing to change your mind when you learn something new. And you know what's crazy? When you do that, you find out you're not alone. You weren't ever alone. There were always other quiet people thinking the same thing, but nobody spoke first. I've seen what happens in families when one person decides to think independently. Sometimes it creates tension at first, but then other people start thinking too. Conversations change. People stop performing for the crowd and start actually talking to each other. That's when real change becomes possible. First, we question why we've accepted independent thinking is dangerous. Then we organize by finding each other, the quiet people who've been thinking all along. Finally, we move forward together, not as a herd following the loudest voice, but as individuals choosing to cooperate. That's not weakness, that's maturity, and Grenada needs it now more than ever.